because this is where the inaugural round of the championship, where some drivers did get spotted in the form of in the junior category. James Anagnostiidis from Australia is where he got spotted, and for that race, qualifying heat 1 is coming up next. Over the course of yesterday for all of these drivers. Conor Clancy yesterday finishing 4th in that final. Will he finish a bit higher up later on today? Engines fire up, drivers make their way out onto the circuit. Let's take you through that full starting lineup for the OKN Junior qualifying Heat 1 in Alpha Sound. It will be Conor Clancy and Axel Nocom on row number 1. James Anagnostiidis and Nathan Cappin on row 2. Vanessa Shilkaneta and Dinia Islamov go from row 3. They'll have William Marshall and Nicholas Stanley on row 4. Egon Prodotti and Didier Cleef go from row 5. They'll have Matthias Vitfer and Veer Chopra on row number 6. Zachariah Dole and Leonidas Peruzzi go from row number 7. Ella Hakkinen and Aryan Singh on row 8. They'll have Mitaj Jain and Emilia Vishamirska on row number 9. Kesa Ziza and Maxim Bobrajov round out the top 20. They go from row 10. Oscar Gallen and Savrier Dudkovsky go from row 11. They'll have Victoria Farfus and Jan Michalesko on row 12. Marcel Scabella and Enna Pazzuto round out row 13. They'll have Angelina Simmons and Karine Kaur on row 14. Sanjana Dandu and Vera Yuland go from row 15. Jacob Woods, Sujana Dandu, Toby Gale and Casper Reipold round out the 17 rows. And I've got to say, for Toby Gale, yesterday's final winner, that qualifying did not go his way at all. And he starts this one right at the back of the field. And he's got a long way to go in this day of racing if he wants to claw that win back in the final. That would be the true challenge for Gale. Let's see what happens. But eyes will focus on that title fight. Anagnostiidis needs to just get to the end of today, and he is clear and dry. The Mercedes Junior driver will join his fellow Mercedes Junior driver in the seniors, Luna Flusha, in a title win at the end of today. But Conor Clancy and Casper Reipold still in contention on that second place and third place spots in the standings. Some of the minis looking on here at the racing as, are we going round? I think we are going round again. It is a false start. We are not racing right now, so I think a little eager on the old power there to get them going. That gives us a little bit more time to go over some of the qualifying results from today, of course, in terms of the actual pace and times that they were putting out on the circuit, because again it was a very, very busy session. There's a look at the marshals out on circuit. Brilliant work by the marshalling team over the course of this weekend. They've had to deal with the hot temperatures out there as well, but we couldn't go racing without the hard-working, dedicated marshals on the circuit, so we do thank them very kindly. Drivers making their way around into that final sector to show how good the pace was from Conor Clancy. Was cleared by Axel Nocom by 0.2 of a second after the 4 laps. James Anagnostiidis was just fractionally off Nocom's time, so the pace between those top runners is actually pretty close here. The same for Cappin as well. Nathan Cappin, who really impressed yesterday with his qualifying heat results, came away with some good results, actually, a third and a second. Are we going racing this time, though? We are indeed. We are racing in the first qualifying heat for the juniors as they make their way in towards turn number 1. It's a good start for the front rows here. Conor Clancy still in the lead of this race, but I think Anagnostiidis had the better start on that inside line. Nocom on the outside, just not able to carry the pace through turn number 1, but is still fighting there, and I think Nathan Cappin's just going to send it down the inside there, and yes, he has. Cappin has gone down the inside there, and in fact, I don't actually see the number 21 inside that top 4. I think that's Vanessa Shilkaneta who has got herself up into that 4th place spot. Where did Nocom go? That's going to be an interesting one. We'll have to see when they next cross the timing beam, which is on the start-finish line. But there you can see, though, it is still Conor Clancy leading the way at the front from James Anagnostiidis, the Australian, just needing to work his way through today. There is William Marshall. There is Axel Nocom. Nocom's found himself down into about P5 now, so Not the best start for the driver of the Philippines from the front row, but his pace is quick, so we expect him to push forward in this race. Big movers on that first lap. Ardian Singh up 7 places. Also, you've got Case Aziza up 5 places, saying that, spoke with Case this morning, he was saying the track was feeling good. However, just that little bit slippy in the first session. Eyes on this. Clancy battling with anagnostiitis. These two line astern right now, but keep an eye on Nathan Kappen. He's yet to take a qualifying heat win in this race weekend, but he has certainly looked like he's got the pace of it. There's a look at the final results for Conor Clancy over the course of this season. You can see he's had a couple of podiums here, podiums in Valencia, good podiums in Franciacorta, but didn't take a win in the European phase. He got his first final win in Dubai, where he got that P1, but certainly a very strong result for him, and we look forward to seeing whether or not he can capitalise on that a little bit later on in the final. But keep a close eye. This top 4 absolutely line astern right now, and Vanessa Chilcaneta is the fastest out of them. She's P4. Scratch that. Oh, she tried to go for P3 there down the inside of Nathan Kappen. Just wasn't close enough, and Kappen slams that door closed in through the hairpin. So he right now, again, needs to just focus, try and push himself forward and see what happens here. But there's the change for the lead. Anagnostiitis to the inside. A superb dive down the inside there. And Anagnostiitis, the title leader, now leads this first qualifying heat out of the final corner. Onto the start-finish straight they go, but he's under pressure here. Conor Clancy is going to look to the inside. Not close enough this time around. How close could you be? Anagnostiitis slams that door closed. That causes a ripple effect in the background, and now Nathan Kappen has got himself up into 3rd place. Vanessa Chilcaneta is still there, fighting away. She's an incredibly talented young female from Lithuania. Her brother, of course, out here as well, racing in the seniors. And right now, she is pushing herself forward. She's just got herself past Nathan Kappen, and now William Marshall has got through as well. So Marshall, who has had a really strong season over the course of this year, is pushing himself up nicely. But then now the gap has opened up between the two of them. And Clancy and Anagnostiitis, they are starting to break away here. Marshall's putting on the pressure, though, and is going to go to the inside. Here comes the likes of Dilia Islamov, I think, pushing his way through. Axel Nocom still there in P7. So Dilia Islamov trying to get that move done the inside of the final corner, not close enough. But eyes on this. You've got the leader of the championship standings. You have got Clancy second in the standings. Now, they're not close enough to really put the pressure on each other in that title fight. However, Clancy is fighting for second in that title from the man who's currently a little further down in the order of this one. Reipold is just not having the weekend he wants here. Qualifying did not go his way. Right at the back of the field with Toby Gale. He's up 6 places in this race, but his chance of getting second in the championship is just slowly fading away. An update on Toby Gale in this one as well. The driver from Thailand is up 13 places, up into P20 on lap 6 of 9. So he's having a good run in this, but again, he needs to gain those few more if he really wants to help himself out into that final later on today. Of course, all the categories here, 2 qualifying heats over the course of the day, will put them in their positions for the final. As Peruzzi now sets the fastest lap of the race. Leonidas Peruzzi currently in P15 right now, is down 1 position, but his pace is quick. Expect him to push up here. Clancy using a little bit more track there than Anagnostiitis to the edge, and they were told at the start of this weekend that you can go a little bit wider as long as you don't gain a lasting advantage from overtaking from going off track limits. You're all fine and clear, which is why you're seeing them just go a little bit wide out of some of these corners. And just coming in then for the drivers, and like you see here, Anagnostiitis and Clancy continuing to just push away. Clancy was the fastest driver on that previous lap, but that's been taken away. Mitash Jain for the UAE now goes fastest out on circuit. Currently 17th fastest right now. And still in a really strong position. Marshall, though, is starting to close in. The driver in third place. The gap was just under 9/10 of a second on this 7th lap. We'll keep a close eye on that gap at the moment, but we're not seeing much change right now between these two. So the top 10 as follows. Anagnosiadis from Clancy. Marshall in third place from Shilkaneta. And it's Kapin from NOCOM. Aryan Singh from Dimir Islamov. Egon Pedrotti and Nicholas Stanley currently rounding out the top 10. As again, everyone stays focused on these drivers on track right now. Through turn 2 at the Alpha Sand circuit. Really tricky corner is turn 2. It goes uphill. It crests at the top. The front of the car goes light. It makes it a little bit difficult to turn in to the corner. And, of course, that's why you see quite a few drivers run just that little bit wide. It also promotes you. If you're a bit too close to the driver in front, you can easily mount the rear bumper. So you don't want to be too close here. But I'm not too sure if we are on this final lap. But Anagnosiadis is going defensive now. That's pushing Clancy and Marshall much closer together. The timer is still ticking down at this moment in time. But Anagnosiadis still looking comfortable right now at the front. No chance for Conor Clancy to get past through the final corner. Drivers now going on to the final lap of this race. And it's all playing for this one now. So Anagnosiadis still looking comfortable at the front here. But it's the top 3, line astern. Anagnosiadis, Clancy, Marshall, 1, 2, 3. We are on to the final lap of this race. And these drivers are pushing each other right to the ragged edge here. And you can see the drastic different racing lines between the two of them. Anagnosiadis going slightly tighter there into the hairpin of turn number 8 down the hill. Clancy taking the optimal line. But again here, just that tighter one runs a little bit wide on the exit though. Does Anagnosiadis to try and carry the speed here. But Conor Clancy, if he wants the move, he's just going to have to go full send here into these final couple of corners. But Anagnosiadis is going to park it right on the apex here. He's going to try and hold it. He slams it on the brakes on the final corner. Checker flag is out, and it will be James Anagnosiadis across the line. He will take that first win of the day in the qualifying heats. The title contender in 2024 in the juniors from Australia. There's a look then at your results. Anagnosiadis from Clancy, Marshall from Shilkaneta, Kapin from NOCOM, Singh, Islamov, Pedrotti, Stanley, Vitfer, Hakkinen, Aziza, Krief and Peruzzi, the top 15. 16th place downwards sees via Chopra and Mitats Jain. Toby Gale up to 18th place at the end of that one from Victoria Farfus. Sakura Dole from Gallen. Then it's Angelina Simmons from Mikhailevsko, Popajov from Raipod, Sanjana Dandu from Vishamirska, Dudkovsky, Skapela and Pazzuto, who rounds out the top 30. And it's Vera Yurland from Kareen Kaur, Sujana Dandu and Jacob Woods, who rounds out the 34 kart field. The entire field separated